Alright, welcome Tribulation 5/15, 2011. Happy anniversary. This blog has reached its 2-year mark. It's been 2 years. We've reached day 740. I'm going to tell you right now, the day count, plus or minus 10. Because, if you actually add 2 years, 365 to 365, you come up with 730, and yet my day count is at 740. So, I'm not really sure exactly where I went wrong in the day count, but I'm just going to kind of keep going with the number I got. So, on the 2-year anniversary, it's day 740. And, maybe that's reflective of where we're at in this tribulation, that the truth is we are at the 2-year mark, because I started the blog on 5/15/2011, but somehow there's some distortion in there and therefore the day count reads 740. I want to thank all my viewers that have stayed with me this long. I want to welcome any new viewers. If this is your first time here, hey, God bless you. That means that your eyes are opened, that you can hear, and you're here to find the truth. You're asking the question, what the hell is going on? And, there can be no doubt that something is going on. Have we reached the tribulation? Well, that's a subjective question. And, I would say, if there's some point in time where, say God's wrath pours out, no, we haven't reached that, But tribulation has always been here, and it has been ever increasing, because we are at the end of an age, and we're about to we are going into a new age. And the crossover from one age to another is always a chaotic event. And, over at Operation End Times, I'm going to kind of go into that. I've been doing a study on the book of Acts, which Acts chapter 27, which is 3 cubed. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. But it is the story of the Apostle Paul taking a journey from Israel over to Rome, and the incredible stuff that happened. It's a future projection, prophecy of the end times, and the amazing events that will happen to the human race. The spiritual journey that mankind has been on. I don't really want to get into it here. I'm going to talk about it over on Operation End Times. But man, there's just amazing stuff in that story. One is that at one point on the journey, they encounter a typhoon called God, I don't know, I can never say it, but Euroclyon. It's a northeastern, a low spinning counterclockwise, and it was a massive storm where they couldn't see the sun nor the stars for 3 days. And, as we speak, there's a cyclone, Mahasin, which is approaching Bangladesh, India, with 120-mile-per-hour winds, and, it could be another Katrina event where just hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people face a tempest and destruction. So we need to pray for all the people in India. But as we know, my notes are already getting all mixed up here. But as we know, unless you got your head buried in the sand, or you're living some kind of bubbleized existence where everything about your vision of reality, that you've been hedged in, and you can't see the forest through the trees, so your vision only extends to the bubble of reality, the distortion you're living in, where everything in your life is A-okay. And as far as the world and all the other 7 billion people on the planet are concerned, nothing's happening. Nothing at all. If your eyes have been opened, you can plainly see that something is happening, and the evidence is undeniable and everywhere. So anyway, this is the 2-year anniversary. I just want to thank everybody for supporting this channel and for, viewing my videos. I've been on this just amazing journey. It's actually, this journey's been my whole life. Our lives are a journey. We are the sum total of our experiences in life. And that's what's playing out in 2013 is the truth is being revealed. Everybody will find out who and what they are. So I just want to go down through a couple of things, on this 2-year anniversary. Our beloved President Barack Obama, we need to pray for him as often as possible. Pray that he guides this country according to the will of God. But right now, it doesn't really appear that that is so. The Obama administration is falling apart. It's basically become a lame duck in his second term. The scandals, the corruption, the darkness, the shadows, the lies, the cover-ups are growing on a daily basis. There's at least 4 scandals now. There's the Benghazi Gate, which makes Watergate and what Nixon did seem like child's play. Hillary Clinton, Susan Rice, Eric Holder, Jay Carney, the press secretary, Obama, all of them, a bunch of people caught in a shadow. But the scandals are huge. It's about abusing power, lying, but making blacklists, enemies lists. And, of course, our President Obama, he denies that he has knowledge of anything, and yet anytime anything happens, he claims that he did it, Anytime it's something to his advantage, oh, I did that. But whenever it's something negative, all the people working underneath him, his cabinets, all the officials, he doesn't know anything about it. That's amazing how he can be so clueless and yet so awesome at the same time. But the cover-ups are just shocking and everywhere. He's misabusing the IRS. They've been not only looking into people's financial records, but they've been looking at people's personal records on Facebook, looking at, their websites, you name it. The Department of Justice, they just busted Eric Holder for wiretapping and pulling all the Associated Press's records, so the freedom of the press is being challenged. The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, is corrupt as can be, plays favoritism, cronyism. The CIA, you don't know what the heck the CIA is doing, Like the whole Boston Marathon bombing thing is one big smelly mess, Those bombers were probably supplied by the CIA, but they'll never admit that, because they work through third parties, Blackwater Ops and whatnot, But it's sad, my friends, the president that promised to change everything, that promised to be the most transparent presidency, is now probably the most corrupt administration this country's ever seen. So it's dark days for America. Financially, this country and the world, the global meltdown continues. Detroit is about ready to go into foreclosure. The stock market is phony. It keeps going up even though there's no reason for it, but we know why. It's because the Fred Bernanke, keeps printing phony baloney money. Even though nowadays they don't even need to print the money. They just do it all electronically and keep adding zeros and transferring sums and buying things with fictitious money. And the bubble's gonna pop. I'm just absolutely amazed it hasn't popped yet. But everything about our economy is fake and phony. And of course, our president, once again, he has no problems lying and bullshitting. He'll say, oh, the housing market is great. Home prices are doubling and tripling. Well, that's not the sign of a healthy housing market, is home prices doubling overnight, Interest rates being almost at zero. That's not healthy. That's the sign of something that's being manipulated and corrupted. But, the other big thing is around the world, we've had just mess loads of earthquakes. All signs pointing to something big is about to happen. Volcanoes are blowing up all around the world. A Popocatépetl down in Mexico just erupted, sent an ash plume 2 miles into the sky. Huge hailstones falling everywhere. America, over in Europe. The cyclone, like I said, is about to hit Bangladesh, and it's amazing because that story in Acts 27 is all about a cyclone as well. Here in California, it's May. Today is May 15th, of course. And out here in San Jose, it's 66 degrees today. It's a beautiful sunny day. The 18th and 19th are this weekend. On the 18th, it's the Amgen bike tour going up Mount Diablo. I've been just getting the heebie-jeebies for the longest time about it. The Eye of Satan is up there, the Beacon, the Pulpit of Satan is up there. We had an earthquake about a week ago here in the East Foothills, which is Mount Diablo. It was 6.6 kilometers, the depth of it, 6.6. But, I was just reading about the race, Armageddon. Amgen is a completely corrupt organization. They're being sued. They're involved with the doping scandals of the pro-bicyclers, this drug EPO. Once again, reflective of what's happening, of the darkness of Mount Diablo. On a sad note, a friend of mine came over yesterday and had just gone to a funeral of a friend of his that just got killed out on Route 4 in Marsh Road, which is right next to Mount Diablo. And he was 44 years old. The accident happened on Route 4 at 1:44 in the afternoon. His daughter died also, who was 16, which is 4 times 4, 444. I did my video on Operation End Times about Thor and 444, but 44, it symbolizes a lot of things, the serpent, judgment. And the spooky thing is we found a newspaper article as we were talking about his friend dying, and it showed the location on a Google map at where the accident happened on Route 4 and Marsh Road, and we actually went to the Google ground where you can actually see the street, and we were standing in the intersection rotating the scene of the accident by 360 degrees, and when you looked down Marsh Road, the reeds, you could see Mount Diablo rising up in the background, and the 444s just jumped out of the newspaper article. So, we're getting signs, all the numbers add up, and it's this weekend, the Amgen bike tour. Today, on YouTube, on my Operation End Times, I liked a video from Dabu77. I'll put a like on it on this channel as well. But he's talking about May 19th, that people have been talking about this date for the last 5 or 6 years as a website called Expect Us, with a countdown that goes to 5/19/2013. The 19th is Pentecost, the day the Spirit of God is poured out. So I would just tell you, my friends, this is a huge, huge, big weekend, and we shall see what happens. So, that's about it, for my tribulation report. But the world continues to spiral downwards into chaos. So the only question you have is, where's your head? Where's your mind? Where's your heart? Because you don't have to spiral down, because there's a path that spirals upward, to glory. So that's where we are in 2013. You can either be part of the shadow path, tied to the materialism of this world and to the destruction that awaits it, or you can liberate yourself, be freed, and Jesus Christ, He is the one that will set you free, the truth. But I got friends that haven't quite lifted that final veil and want to acknowledge Jesus, but that's fine, because I just tell them, I say, walk in love, and you will get there. So if that's where you're at, where for some reason you can't quite accept Jesus just yet, keep walking that path of love and truth, and we'll all end up at the same destination, because sooner or later that final veil will be lifted, and you will find out that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and he's the perfect manifestation of love. And you know what? If you want to get through what's about to happen, you need to have love in your heart. And if Jesus is the king sitting on the throne of your heart, that means you're walking in love. On Operation End Times, right now, it's all about throwing down the idols of Baal, and the idols are everything from the corrupt systems to money, education, religion, to the false prophets. And that's what's going to happen this year. It's already happening on Operation End Times. But it's amazing, people that you wouldn't think are going to be thrown down are going to be thrown down. Things that you think are pillars of society are going to be thrown down because, they may appear to be real or truthful, 90% truthful, but even if you have 5% or 1% distortion, then it's not a greater truth. It's just a bigger distortion. And that's, unfortunately what is happening out there. And even, people who say they walk in the light, they may be 90% light, but they're still mixing in 5% shadow and darkness. And, you're not on the right side. You're on the left side. You're walking in a shadow. That's what happens when you mix light and dark, truth and darkness. You get a shadow. But you know what? The truth will prevail, and the idols will be thrown down. So, my friends, prepare yourselves. Get a grasp on where you are spiritually, and where are your treasures? Are they on earth? Money, power, fame? Is that what's important to you? Or can you see a brighter tomorrow in a new land, the promised land, like Martin Luther King spoke of? That just like in chapter 27 of Acts, Paul on the ship, they see a land they did not know, the promised land, but they focus on making a landing, making the shore, and they do. But it's an event that, it's not a smooth event, but everybody makes it. But, everybody has to swim for their lives at the same time. But I'll get to that on Operation End Times. So, hey, peace, love, and understanding, my friends. May it pour out on all of you. May your eyes be opened to the events that are unfolding. And once again, thank you for watching my channel, Tribulation 515 2011. Do something nice today. Think positive. God bless you all.